Welcome to a new edition of the Everlast Power video series. Today we'll be continuing our 5x10 project trailer build. In part 1 we covered the basics of what you need to start building a trailer, and we began to lay out the trailer frame. Now we're going to continue our frame layout. After completing the first corner of the frame, I have to do some repositioning and make sure the frame will fit onto the table as I add new components. Here we've added the support tubing, which will help extend the table so that we can keep the trailer build up off the floor and make things easier to work with. Now, if you're having to build your trailer on the floor, this tubing as a base support is a good idea because it helps even out high or low spots and gives a base platform so that you can shim out any irregularities without having to affect the trailer frame directly. After a little work, I've got everything clamped and positioned exactly where I want it for my next weld. We're going to continue welding on that same end that we started on, and we're going to complete this cross-member weld. Here you can actually see how the tubing is supporting the over-width frame of the trailer. Now that everything's clamped tightly, I'm going to go ahead and tack everything up on this side. Time to reposition again. Now remember that we're using the end cross members to provide a cap for the ends of the longer trailer rails. This adds 4 inches to the trailer length, and it creates a more rigid frame when the other cross members are welded on the inside of the trailer rails. Because our frame is square, we don't have to do a lot of manipulation to get the parts to line up. Of course, there's always a little drawing or pulling that you have to work out, but as you can see, we're not even using the Bessie jig on this final corner. We're just using a single clamp. Now we're finally getting somewhere. We're dropping our remaining cross members in on 24 inches on center. We're going to use a total of 6 cross members on this trailer. Now if you want to put your cross members on 18 inches, that's fine, but you'll probably have to buy an extra piece of tubing and may have some left over. 24 inches is fine for most applications. A helpful hint here, don't try measuring from the center to center of the tubing. Just measure from the outside of one piece to the inside of the next piece, and if it's 24 inches, it'll be 24 inches on center. Now it's on to the next one. I'm still using the Bessie jig. If this side is square, well, the other side should be too, so there's no need to hold both sides with a jig like this. All I'm going to do is go to the other side and weld the other side just like I'm welding this side. It's not worth showing every single weld because after you've seen a couple it just gets repetitive. But remember, keep tacking. Don't weld it solid yet or you'll probably regret it at some point and you might have to start all over. Here I've completed the trailer frame. Remember in the part 1 I said that this was a 2-trailer build. I had to settle for some shorter tubing because the supplier was out of stock, so on this last trailer, instead of wasting an extra piece of tubing, I had to use a piece of older tubing I had in stock to finish the last cross member. It's a little rusty, but it works. Join us for the next edition when we continue our project trailer build. Next time we'll begin by installing the hitch and the coupler onto the trailer frame.